But why am I not able to read chat? Let me stop sharing and open the chat. Okay. So where are you from? What do you do? And where are you from? Three things only. Super fast. And it will be great if I can see all the happy faces. I know it's a Saturday morning and you all maybe in your beds, most probably.
And we all know that, right? So it's okay, I think.
Yeah, it's perfectly fine.
I just showed myself. There you go. I'm Kavita.
Hi Kavita, how are you?
I'm good, good. I just put my intro in the thing.
Yes. Kavita is from Michigan and is a CEO of Soulverse. Wow. Varun. So we have people from Madurai, Uttarakhand, Kerala, Mumbai. Awesome. Shimla. Awesome. Great. So I think we are a little late already. So I'll keep reading the introductions in between. And meanwhile, I start sharing my screen with all of you. Okay, great. So I hope the agenda is clear with everyone that we are here to do something called personal branding. And during HSX and after HSX, twice again, I traveled to Bangalore. I had a lot of talks with Vashist and Gautam. And I understood that the way Head Start is working is actually crazy, but in terms of online presence it was a little, it did not feel like that crazy in terms of online presence. And I was like, if there are 100 volunteers, we can actually make it super crazy than any other company working around in this area, okay, of having the knowledge of ecosystem. I think you guys are the best people in that area. But yes, it's important that we let the world also know that we exist and we are doing something. So my company name is called Success Brew. The brew came from drinking a lot of coffee and beer with a lot of people. So people related with different topics. So let's brew some personal brand today, and next 4 weeks will be awesome. So welcome to the journey of self-awareness that will help you project yourself in the world as you evolve. That's why personal branding is a never earning journey. So is your content. Okay. Now, why it is called self-awareness, I will complete that portion in the last slide today, because personal branding is known as a very mechanical thing about creating content, having a number of followers or things like that. How many of you have only perceived personal branding in that sense कि content बनाना है और number of followers आ जाएंगे and that's how I build a personal brand? As of now, how many people have that kind of a perception? So maybe you can just raise your hand also. I'm somehow not able to read the chats while sharing the screen. Okay, great. So most of us perceive it like that only, okay? Now, so first let's start knowing more about me and my journey first. Let me take you through the journey that I've been through in life and how the personal brand has evolved over the period of time. So I'm founder of Success Brew. It's a company and a community both. Initially, we started with a community called the Golchi Club community that now turned into Success Brew community itself. I'm associate partner with Growth Media AI that is into creating a lot of educational content around marketing, branding, growth hacking. So the book you see in my hand is called the Growth Hacking Book 2. We got a world record for that in 2022. It was written by 100 authors from 25 countries. Okay, so we brought best in place and got 100 chapters. So this book is a complete Bible. This book is not available in India easily. So I'm trying to get another 500 copies of this book printed and will send all of you very soon as it is possible. I started my life as a mechanical engineer back in 2011. And so starting with a very small job, 5,000 rupees a month. And I was like worried about my career back then. But 2 years gave me a good hit in my career. I worked for Indian Railway, Borg India Limited. How many of you are like familiarized to mechanical industry somewhere in the past or ever been in touch? So if not, Borg India Limited is only one company that creates engine coolers, car engine coolers. So it's a small device. It's only company that has all the global patents for that. So I could work with those companies and I realized that I have a huge potential, but I can't have that potential in this industry. So I moved out into sales and insurance. I started selling insurance to American Express Black Card members. So if you don't know who are the Black Card members, it means minimum 2000 crore turnover. So my calls has been picked by Arjun Kapoor, Priyanka Chopra, Boni Kapoor, these kind of people. And I was like, okay, inse kaise baat karna hai? So I started learning sales in a very different way. Then 2013 to 18, I did a lot of commission-based sales, hardcore commission, no money if you don't sell, right? 2018, we started with this community that now has like 5,000 people across 7 cities of the India and few more countries outside. 2019 got recognized as a LinkedIn influencer. And when this happened, I had no idea what is this influencer called. इसका मतलब क्या मुझे नहीं पता था. Then I collaborated with Growth Media AI 2022. And this happened by chance because of a network like this only. Somebody connected me with someone, it happened. 2021, we started helping MSMEs with their digital growth, fundraising for startups. And 2022, we built Success Brew and acquired 3 unicorn clients who are like retainers with us now. And most of them are working with us on not just concept basis of doing something for them, but we bring in a lot of ideas for them to evolve their products. So we are not just a marketing company, we evolve their products to a very different level. Okay. Have a personal network of over 7,000 people plus 2 lakh people online. I master multiple skills like engineering, sales and marketing, content creation, training, coaching, business strategy design. I love to create events to bring business owners together and multiply business for everyone. So 2021 and 22, we did close to 35 to 40 events, micro, medium, and macro complete events across India. Okay, so this is my entire journey from 2012 to 23. So this is how the personality has evolved. So this is me being the mechanical engineer. This machine you see behind me is a machine worth 8 crore rupees. It is bigger than the room I am right now standing. So this was the most dangerous machine I have worked with. If the tool moves without your consent, it will kill you right then and there. There is no stoppage in that area. It was a German machine. Then I entered into sales. Then this is the picture when I shot a video with Dr. Vivek Bindra and I moved out in between. Said, "Mujhe nahi shoot karna hai." And this is what happened then when I took charge of my life and built my own personality in a different way. Okay, now, how many of you believe that the future belongs to personal branding? That it is required. इसका एक element है जो कि want नहीं है, need है. How many of you are already at that stage that this is going to be a need, not just another want of any professional? Okay, great to see so many hands raising up on the need-based part. Okay. Now, how many of you feel that, okay, need to hai, but I am not able to understand how to get started with this? समझ नहीं आ रहा मतलब कहाँ से स्टार्ट करना है, कंटेंट नहीं समझ में आता. आई एम नॉट अ कंटेंट गाय, आई एम नॉट अ सोशल मीडिया गाय, आई डोंट लाइक टू बी ऑन सोशल मीडिया ऑल डे, मेरे पास तो पहले ही काम बहुत है, काइंड ऑफ थॉट्स इन योर माइंड. ओके, ग्रेट. इक्वल नंबर ऑफ हैंड्स अप, राइट? So वो सारा part in next 4 weeks we will take care in terms of all the technicalities. But our today's job is to understand what is a brand, then what is a personal brand, and then how do you create this brand inside you first of all, rather than outside. Because what you don't have, you cannot give it to the world. Do we agree on that? What we don't have, we can't give it to the world. Correct? Awesome. So what is a brand? This is a technical definition of a brand, a formal definition. A brand is an identifying symbol, mark, logo, name, word, or a sentence that companies use to distinguish their product from others. A combination of one or more of those elements can be utilized to create a brand identity. Legal protection given to a brand name is called a trademark. Okay. Now, mostly brand is known in terms of a business, correct? HDFC hai, ICICI hai, Reliance hai. It is known in terms of business, and a common man understands brand as a symbol, logo, mark, something that they identify a brand with. But is it complete? No, this is not complete. The elements of brand. A brand is not just a logo or a symbol, but must include the humankind personality, mission, voice, tone, likability, strength, and weaknesses. So when you go for a job interview or you are interviewing someone, you try to understand not just the skill set or the face, you try to understand who this person is in and out. Like what is the character, integrity hai ki nahi hai, टाइम पे आएगा कि नहीं आएगा, काम एक्स्ट्रा होगा तो करेगा या नहीं करेगा, राइट? ओके, 9 से 5 में भाग तो नहीं जाएगा. So we try to understand the overall personality so that characteristics also is a part of brand, right? Now, first of all, we as human beings are not really self-aware of our own characteristics. So जब हम कोई इंटरव्यू देने जाते हैं या इवन कॉलेज स्टूडेंट्स, वी हेल्प देम प्रिपेयर कि जब कोई पूछे कि व्हाट आर योर स्ट्रेंथ्स, तो क्या बोलना है, होता है. We explain people. There are so many resume writers and educational counselors. They train kids to tell what to say when somebody asks you what are your strengths. But they really don't know inside what are their strengths, what are their weaknesses. And especially in terms of weaknesses, they fear telling their weaknesses. Happens, raise of hands, happens, it's normal. So we are not aware most of the time. So first of all, we need to get some awareness around these things for ourselves. So one of your assignments today, so you can write like question number 1 for yourself to answer to yourself, not to anybody else, that what is my identity? I'll cover a little more about this identity part in the last segment, but just make it a question right now. I need to figure out my own identity. That's the important part. Okay, but for now, just for now, if you have to write, okay, how do you explain yourself to somebody in one line? How will you do that? Can you put that in chat? Just one liner. How do you explain yourself? Like when somebody asks you, who are you? Who is Arzu? Who is Kamal? When somebody asks you, who are you? So mostly what we already read was, I am so and so. I am a lead with Head Start Shimla. I'm a lead with Head Start Uttarakhand, something like that. So your identity is completely related to your profession only as of now. Correct? Does that make sense? I want to see some raise hands or some faces saying yes. Aisa kuch. Okay. So mostly yes. People say yes. Okay. So our identities are connected to what we do rather than who we are. So we have compressed our identities into our work only. And that is why when it comes to personal branding, we only talk about our work. होता है? अच्छा, अब मैं काम के बारे में ना लिखूं तो मतलब ये तो प्रोफेशनल नहीं रहेगा if I talk about myself. LinkedIn is a professional platform. How many of you have seen that police on LinkedIn? Oh, this is a personal platform. Don't post your personal picture here. How can you post a picture here without a suit? How can you post a party picture here? Right? But aren't professionals doing parties? Aren't professionals traveling? Aren't they? Don't they have a personal life? So let's go back to the PPT. Okay. So let's understand what are the business brands. So all these are the business brands. Tata, Reliance, Airtel, HDFC, LIC, SBI, Infosys, Mahindra. Any of these brands have taken almost a decade or more to build their identity in the world, right? But apart from this logo, you all must have experienced these brands in a very different way. So if I have to go to any government bank, my experience has been shitty all the time. They don't listen. There is no relationship manager. For small everything, you have to go to the branch. You can't do online things. Correct? I hate it. Asian Paints have an amazing experience. Hero, I have an amazing experience with. SDFC, moderate experience. Yes Bank, amazing experience. Right? So the brand is not only about the symbol, but how people experience it over a period of time creates the brand value in market. Correct? Like these are the small things that you are already aware of a little bit. I'm going deeper into it now. Right? So यहाँ से हमें समझ में आता है कि अगर मैं एक बहुत फैंसी लिंक्डइन प्रोफाइल भी बना लूं, सब कुछ अच्छा अच्छा भी लिख दूं, it doesn't matter in the world. It will matter only 5%. But if that good thing is not matching with what other people are saying about me in the world, there will always be a contradiction. Right? And we all know some few names that are very famous in the world, but you never hear anything positive about them. Correct? Okay. So for example, Elon Musk is a very weird personality. Correct? Actually, nobody has a personal experience with this guy sitting in India, at least. But they have so many opinions. But at the end, you cannot ignore this man. He's such a brand. या तो उतने बड़े बन जाओ, फिर कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता आप क्या कर रहे हो, उसमें बहुत टाइम लगेगा. But we are average people. Let's say we are average people. We need to just protect our identity with the right things to be done. Then comes some personal brands. Now, I have not mentioned their names. Do I need to introduce them to you? No. Now tell me, how many of you know these 5 brands just because of their work? सिर्फ इनके काम की वजह से हम इनको जानते हैं और कोई मतलब नहीं है इनको जानने का, ऐसा कुछ है? You can write or you can talk maybe in between, perfectly fine, if anybody has any views on it. So let's talk about Ratan Tata. So how many companies he own? How many of you know Ratan Tata because of Tata Steel? Hardly anyone, right? He is known for philanthropy, being a good Indian who helps. Correct or not? A humble nature. He is known for a personal characteristics rather than just business, right? Anand Mahindra is known for his witty humor on social media nowadays more than anything else. And also that he picks up ideas from social media and help those businesses grow sometimes. Narayan Murthy again for Infosys, definitely. But yes, apart from Infosys, a lot of good things for his good character, for his humility, a lot of things. Dhirubhai Ambani is known for the biggest rags to riches story in India. हम शायद अपने 7 जनरेशंस का नाम भूल जाएंगे ऊपर वाले, बट हमारे 7 जनरेशंस को भी इनका नाम पता रहेगा कि कोई तो इंडिया में स्टोरी थी. सो ही इज अ लाइफ स्टोरी दैट विल नेवर डाई. दैट्स धीरूभाई अंबानी. Until unless Reliance is there, the name of Dhirubhai Ambani will always be connected and the personal brand will always be there. So we give that example that, okay, this is the kind of personality you should become, the courage you should become, and the characteristics you should create. Now, out of these 4, there is one very different personal brand coming out of Bollywood. So Bollywood mein we have a lot of actors from Shah Rukh Khan, Deepika Padukone, Ranveer Singh, Dharmender or Hema Malini. There are a lot of different brands in terms of known for their career in Bollywood. But this lady broke that ceiling completely, right? So after a good stint in Bollywood, she knew that the career may be ending or maybe the same line. She moved completely out. Now, a lot of people don't know how that movement happened. So a lot of people think that just it was a shift from Bollywood to Hollywood. No, it was not. The shift was from Bollywood to United Nations, UN. So she gave us very significant amount of charity to become part of United Nations, traveled Africa, traveled a lot, like for around 1.5, 2 years, she traveled with United Nations to different segments. That's how she built a network in Hollywood, because a lot of people are part of UN from Hollywood. That's how the network was built, and that's how Quantico happened. And then there's a different chain happened, and then she became an investor, she became an entrepreneur, has a Punjabi production house. So a lot of people may not know, she has a special Punjabi movies production house. How many of you know that? इस किसको ये बात पता है? A special Punjabi movie production house is owned by Priyanka Chopra. Okay, right. So, and then there are now some new hotels coming in, fine dining restaurants coming in New York, and then another production house in US, then coming up with a music label in US. So diversified, investor in Bumble, big time. Okay. So हमको ये समझने की जरूरत है that our personal brands is not one thing, it is a lot of things, and how people will perceive us is our duty. बहुत सारे लोग ऐसे बोलते हैं, यार लोग मेरे बारे में क्या सोच रहे हैं मुझे फर्क नहीं पड़ता. If you're building a personal brand, आपको फर्क पड़ना चाहिए, and you should study what people are talking about you, what people are thinking about you. That's called a feedback. So जैसे एक बिजनेस में प्रोडक्ट का फीडबैक लिया जाता है, every entrepreneur is worried कि उसके प्रोडक्ट के बारे में दुनिया क्या बोलती है. Right or not? That's your product feedback. Does that make sense? Is that your product feedback? So personal branding में आप खुद product हो. You are the product, right? And on that public feedback, this product should evolve, become better for the world. right? Because if you are not of service to people, then what are you doing here actually? Everybody is earning some money, eating food and living a life, right? The only differential in a personal brand I create is that a person becomes something better than himself. And I really respect all of you that as volunteers, you are already doing that. But the idea is that people should also know that, not to brag, but to get inspired, or maybe they also join this army of doing something more than their life for the other people of the ecosystem. Correct? Now, what are the basic benefits of having a solid personal brand? Okay. No introduction required. People just know you. You enter into an event. So mostly networking events or meetups or business events, what happens is we need to go and then we carry a lot of visiting cards and we become a card dispensing machine. Okay, this is what I do. This is what I do. How many of you seen people like that in networking events? होता है, बहुत नॉर्मल है. सो हम बहुत सारे कार्ड्स घर ले आते हैं, उसके बाद वो कार्ड्स हम कहीं रख देते हैं, एंड वी फॉरगेट दोस पीपल फॉर अ लाइफ टाइम. बट you will always remember one person who never had the card, maybe wearing the weirdest clothes, and maybe he was just laughing all that while in the event. He was the most energetic guy. You will remember that one person, right? So build an identity that people cannot forget you. Create something different in yourself. Because we are in the online world, that difference creation has become very easy. Okay, because why I'm saying it, because I have done personal branding and networking and events before this social media age also, during 2013, 14, 15 also, when this social media personal branding was not on a high. And you have to enter into a room and then create a personal brand and identity from scratch within one day, so that at least 100 people end up remembering you. Something like that I have learned and done. Okay, so we will definitely do that someday in a physical setting or arrangement, because that needs a lot of activity and exercise to be done. So today when I enter into any event, I will at least find 15-20 people who want to connect with me and who already know me from social media. That's one. People like you and trust you because you have added a lot of value through your content, or maybe with the piece that somebody is just trying to connect with you on social media, and you get on a 15 minutes call with them and add some value to their life. They start liking you and trusting you. One person who has a personal good experience with you will talk about you, and then this chain of good talking about you behind your back never ends, right? It continues. So a lot of people who have never met you, never worked with you, never seen you in person, will start liking you and trusting you. Get paid a premium price. Okay, so people who are into freelancing or business or consulting, there is a normal consultant who may be having a huge skill. आपके पास skill कम है, but आपका personal brand थोड़ा heavy weight है. People talk good things about you in the market. Something like me, I literally have no skills in terms of marketing, growth hacking, ये और वो. All is done by my team. The only thing I do for my company is selling. I sell because of my personal brand, and I'm able to sell at a 3x price than the market. Okay. हाई मार्केट वैल्यू. सो हर बिजनेस का एक मार्केट वैल्यू होता है जिसको हम वैल्यूएशन बोलते हैं आज की डेट में. एवरी पर्सनल ब्रांड ऑल्सो हैज अ मार्केट वैल्यू. So that is why we are after founders' lives today to create a personal brand, so that the investors who are going to invest in you will trust you on your market value first of all. That, so if you have heard seen this episode of Shark Tank 3, Piyush Bansal said to stage founders that although it is a loss-making business in the long term, but I'm investing in you, right? Because you have done something in the past, and if you can bring that same virality again, this going to be a good profitable business, right? And again, they are mostly playing on a valuation game that they will sell this business tomorrow, maybe, I don't know, right? But dates 2 साल 3 साल में 300 crore की कंपनी दोबारा खड़ी कर दिया. What are they building on? They're building on a market value of the entire business, because उनके पास 1,30,000 पेड सब्सक्राइबर्स ऑलरेडी हैं. सो 4 करोड़ का टर्नओवर तो है एनुअल. Correct? Then people chasing you. So a lot of times when you are into a space when you need to talk to people and connect with people, you keep chasing people and you hate it. How many of you hate selling because it needs chasing people? How many of you hate selling because it needs chasing people? Right? So हमको बहुत सारे लोगों से connect करना पड़ता है. Azu does a lot of events, and you have to connect with them, then follow up with them. It's a never-ending chain actually for a lot of people. Out of 100 cold messages you send, you will be able to connect with 2 or 3 people. It feels like a complete waste of effort, especially when you are not getting directly paid for it. Correct? So when you have a personal brand, rather than you chasing people, people will chase you. Right? It becomes a point of attraction. So think of it like this, that on a stage, on a room of 500 people, you are being on stage under a spotlight. Now, do you need to chase people? And even in that stage, if you reach out to people, they will respond you faster and with a lot of respect. Correct or not? Even if you sell them something, they will not say कि अच्छा तुम तो बेच रहे हो. ऐसा कुछ नहीं होगा. They're like, हाँ, she's trying to help me. बहुत difference होता है. The way they talk to you will completely change. Right? Maybe some of you have already experienced this in your life, because in the startup journeys that we have been through, the most disrespect we got are from our own families. Initially, कर क्या रहे हो, हमें तो समझ नहीं आ रहा, because the time was changing and they were not able to understand what we are doing. Correct? Right? And sooner or later, when they saw that we are earning good money, people are talking good things about us, they started just appreciating that fact of that, okay, something good is happening. We may not understand, but something good is there. Right? So that's your personal brand for a lot of cold zones also, that may not understand what you do or who you are or where you are, but seeing your social media and your presence in the events and how people are talking about you during the event, they're like, something good is there, so I should at least talk with respect. And that is all you need right now. After that, it's again a different game of communication and what you communicate, right things to right people. If you make a mistake there, that's a separate understanding altogether. Okay. Going back to, okay, you will have people talking good about you for free. So I think a lot of companies spend a lot of money on influencer marketing. I have personally never spent money on influencer marketing, but I think every month there are 15 to 20 people who talk about me on LinkedIn. Why? Because I'm taking these kind of workshops most of the time. Apart from that, I do at least 20-25 stranger calls every month. Just half an hour call, talk to them. If I can help them then and there, I will. And 1 or 2 end up turning into clients or something like that. But I'm consistently talking to people and adding a lot of value so that they know me. Simple. It's just about knowing people and knowing them. What happens in the journey that they get impacted and they talk about you someday. So maybe they're not talking about you right now, but after 3 months they get some result of what I gave them today, an advice or a book or something like that. And I keep sharing everything. Okay, ye kitab pad lo, ye video dekh lo, things like that. Okay, so I'm going to do that a lot of with you also. After this video, this entire call, I'm going to give you a video today to watch, a short video. Okay, no time waste in negotiation. When people come to you, आपका negotiation time कम हो जाता है, बहुत कम हो जाता है, because then they are chasing you कि हमको तुमसे ही काम करवाना है. We want to get things done from you, and then you can dominate the pricing. Customers bring customers. Okay, so there are 2-3 kind of consultants in the world, of freelancers or business owners. One is a normal person जिसको कोई जानता नहीं है, business अच्छा है उसका, सब कुछ ठीक है, but people may not know them particularly. वहां पे क्या होगा, if people buy something from you, they may not speak about you to other people. I have seen a lot of people who are my clients and they're like, okay, you know what, our work is done by Saurabh's team. उनका इतना क्या मतलब, they feel proud about it and they start talking about it in a physical environment or in a social environment or in a blog or in a podcast. And in the past year, I have heard multiple times that at the spaces, there was no relationship with me also. Some people spoke about me somewhere. Okay. That creates a buzz and a curiosity to every listener into a different segment, and they start coming to you. So these are some of the solid impacts of a personal brand, right? How much time does it take? That's the question. Okay, so this is not an overnight game. This might take you another year with a lot of consistency in terms of your value addition to the world. Don't think of it as a bragging कि मैं हर रोज कुछ बोल रहा हूँ और मुझे कुछ बोलना ही है. But think of it as a contribution, a social contribution to the world, that I have a certain level of experience in my life and I should share it with the world so that somebody gets impacted. If that intention is clear, then you have a long way to go. Okay, now, why would you build a personal brand? Now, there should be a good agenda to build a personal brand also, and with different people, there are different reasons. So, if you are in a job and looking for a better job, so maybe you're looking for a better opportunity. So that's how you can create a personal brand around it, talking about your skill sets every day, talking about the industry, all the things like that. You just want to build an identity. So for me, I was dealing with a lot of identity crisis. क्योंकि पहले मैकेनिकल इंजीनियरिंग कर लिया, फिर मैंने इंश्योरेंस बेच लिया, फिर मैंने लाइफस्टाइल प्रोडक्ट्स बेच लिया. आई वाज लाइक अब मैं हूँ क्या, मुझे समझ नहीं आ रहा. I went on LinkedIn to build a identity and sharing my knowledge, whatever experience I had from all these three careers. Okay. Today, I have one of the agendas to gain more business also because I'm a consultant. Okay. Want to share your expertise. You just want to share your expertise. You are in a good job, a good profile. You are sorted in your life. आपको कोई पैसा नहीं कमाना LinkedIn से. You just want to share your experiences with the world. Okay. And there are a lot of people like that doing it. Okay. Generate inbound queries. Now, these inbound queries can be for anything. Even in a job, you can do business for your company or things like that. And build an authority. Now, authority building has been very much abused in the personal branding sense. How many of you know that what was actual authority building? Like आप सबने सुना है, बहुत सारे LinkedIn experts हैं, they say कि we help founders build their authority. पढ़ा है? हम authority build करने में help करते हैं. Do you think an outside party can help you build your authority? So a lot of people have it. If you have not seen, you will see very soon once you get active on LinkedIn. Now, what is authority? If you see authority, there's a word called author in authority. Okay. So in the scientific times or the past times and still in the research based areas, लोग पहले PhD करते हैं, फिर उस सब्जेक्ट पे जाके 10-12 साल रिसर्च करते हैं, फिर वो अपनी एक बुक लिखते हैं. They become authors. Right now, that book, whatever concepts are written in that book are being checked out by other experts in the industry globally. So they get a lot of criticism also, they get a lot of approval also. So there is a statistics that says if the approvals are not over 60-70%, the person will not be called an authority in the subject. So ये तो हम कभी नहीं बनने वाले. So let's not run after building an authority. Correct? You can do that if you are going to stuck with a career for 12 to 14 years, consistent, and evolving your skill into it consistently and doing a lot of research under it. For example, I met a lady 3 days ago. She is a classical dancer from the age of 5 and now she's 54. And she's still doing her stage shows. And she's a medical fitness expert onboarded by Cancer Society of India and US both. This person, if writes a book, can be authority. इसके नीचे experience में I can't consider you an authority, or I'd never set myself as authority in personal branding or LinkedIn or whatever. We are still evolving and learning. So rather than authority, we can use the words like being an expert in some area, expert and learner, or experimental expert, you can say. So I always say that I'm experimenting with everything that I do. मैं किसी भी चीज में एक्सपर्ट नहीं हूँ, नीदर ब्रांड, बिकॉज 3 साल तो हुए हैं. एंड ये इंडस्ट्रीज को टाइम नहीं होता. अभी तो पहले तो एक इंडस्ट्री 10-12 साल चलती थी, अभी तो हर 6 महीने में सब चेंज हो जाता है. Right? People were like still about to learn about Web3. Now this ChatGPT came, and around that, all these SaaS products have now started evolving. So there's a huge era to learn again now. कि कुछ नया सीखते हैं. So every 1 year we are changing suddenly. Okay. So authority building is going to go a very long way in terms of research. So if I have to call myself authority, I can call myself authority in only one segment where I have done a lot of research on human psychology with respect to sales, how and when people buy, right? And all those principles where I did was used in my own self right now. But to write a book around it needs a lot of research, a lot of thesis, a lot of more communication, understanding with the experts. But there is no expert right now today who can say, क्योंकि कि मैं एक authority based expert हूँ, right? So if you don't know, there's a company called Quantum. It's a marketing agency who created all the biggest of the memorable campaigns of the Indias, something like Kuch Meetha Ho Jaye for Cadbury and all. This company is authority in the marketing, a lone authority in the marketing segment of the country. And this is a company who never created a YouTube channel, who never created any educational content. And that's why nobody knows them. यूनिलीवर, कैडबरी, नेस्ले, इनकी मार्केटिंग हेड्स, इनकी मार्केटिंग टीम्स इस कंपनी, इस एजेंसी के बिना काम ही नहीं करती हैं. They can't operate without them. And their thesis has been taught in Harvard and Stanford's. Right? They are the authority, but they are not exploiting that authority to become a personal brand. It's a bloody 100 crore turnover doing agency. एजेंसी बिजनेस में 100 करोड़ करना बहुत मुश्किल है, नहीं होता. और इसकी सीईओ के लिंक्डइन पे 5 कनेक्शन है. Right now, after their life to do it, do something about it, build a YouTube channel. I said, if there can be a growth school teaching all the shit and making money, why can't you do it? You should have built a growth school because you have best of the people in the planet, right? For that. So moving on to something else. So now just take a moment to write down what is your agenda to build a personal brand. हम इससे थोड़ा और deeper जाएंगे. This is just a vague agenda. हम थोड़ा और purpose में भी घुसेंगे अभी, right? So what is your agenda to build a personal brand? Abhi ke liye, just write it down for yourself. Okay, now, what is the purpose? You can have 3 reasons to build a personal brand. So mostly people say there can be 1 reason. I say there can be 3 reasons. Okay. So for example, if you see entire life, we always say you should have 3 hobbies. One should make you money, one should keep you healthy, and one should keep you happy. अगर ये तीनों चीजें सही जगह पे तो you are like living a ikigai life kind of a thing. So we can use a similar principle in personal branding also. Something that hits your goals, okay, that makes you money, that keeps your career running, everything. Something that makes you happy. So for me, sharing my knowledge or experience or day-to-day learning keeps me happy. Something that gives you instant gratification. Now, I cannot remove instant gratification because आपने आज कुछ लिखा, आपको कुछ gratification नहीं मिला, आप कल लिखोगे फिर कुछ नहीं मिला, आपको ये काम नहीं करता. We are humans, we need some instant kick to go next day and do something. Am I right? Vashisht will agree with that part always, right? We need some instant. Now, instant gratification can be one person commenting saying, wow, I loved it. Or you get first 100 likes, or you get first 1,000 likes. All these are instant gratification. Now, when I started back in 2019, LinkedIn was giving this instant gratification for free, right? I was gaining like 500 followers a day. That was the level of instant gratification, and that kept me going. I said, और करते हैं, और करते हैं, और करते हैं. It happened. But then you have to find your own instant gratification. Sometimes you may get an inbound lead. That's a great instant gratification. And that combines with your goals also. And when you make money, it makes you happy also, right? So you can involve these 3 aspects majorly. Abhi hum aur broad karenge isko aage jaake. But these 3. So now you have to write down in comments for me fast. Okay. So what do you think is your instant goal? Like, what is your goal? Okay. Number of impressions. Yes, a great instant gratification. Okay. So now tell me, what is your goal that you can achieve from LinkedIn? Or social media. I'm not just talking about LinkedIn right now. Okay, people engaging with my post, that's an instant gratification for sure. Thought leadership. Okay, how do we define thought leadership? So quite a subjective term. Thought leadership is again like authority building. So if you think that in a particular way, getting followers, okay, but see, always think getting followers, engagement, everything. Also find how is it going to help you in the longer term. We have to think of a delayed gratification also, right? Yes, website links, website and link clicks. That makes more sense for a person who's into a digital space. Usko instant gratification milega. But what hits your goal as a personal brand? A bigger goal, maybe let's say, if you today start building a personal brand, what's your goal in 3 months or 6 months? What goal you will go with? More consulting projects, awesome. That makes sense. So more consulting projects means you need inbound leads. For that, you need engagement. For that, you need right set of target audience to connect with you, right? So that means when you receive or send a connection request, do not send it to irrelevant people. And number of impressions is not your game, right? Because I wrote a post yesterday that there can be a people who are having 1,000 likes but 0 leads, and there can be people who have 100 likes but 10 leads, right? So getting more attention for my project under development, product under development, awesome. Visibility, confidence, contribution, right? So you have the goals in place, you have a happiness in place, and you have the instant gratification. Now when you get that instant gratification, do a happy dance, talk about it. Let's say you get first 100 likes, or first 1,000 likes, or you get first post that get 10,000 impressions. Take a screenshot, talk about it. That will give you either more kick on the instant gratification, right? Abhi to hamare paas ek chota sa WhatsApp group hai, so we can talk in that also, and we can celebrate that thing. Okay, so in my community, one of the cultures that we have is once a month I go back to my community and ask them, okay, tell me your past month achievements, and I make a personal LinkedIn post for all of them. So I celebrate their wins, and they love it, right? Small gratifications, and they love it. I share about that on my Instagram profile. But see, again, all those things are my results also, right? It's a gratification for me also, for them also, and for me also, right? Now, because the community have now large spread, a lot of people get annoyed of me because I can't include everybody. So it's another challenge for me. So now we are planning to get into a magazine thing that, okay, every quarter we'll print a magazine where we can include everybody's win. So a bigger level of gratification will go towards that. Okay, now, what do you need to build a personal brand? Now, you must have seen a lot of people who are trying to outsource the content creation part or the entire profile management or things. That means person gayab ho gaya wahan se. Personal branding is a personal game, right? If the person is not there, it is just a branding happening, not the personal branding happening. So you need PCCP, okay? Person, consistency, commitment, and patience, okay? So you have to be there in person writing your content. Content writing में आप किसी की help ले सकते हो, problem नहीं है, but the core thought should be yours. The topic should be yours, correct? I know not everybody is a content writer here. Not everybody understand the entire structure of content. Although if you wish to learn, it's a one night game. कोई बहुत बड़ा काम नहीं है, right? And हमारे group में हम वो सब सीख लेंगे धीरे धीरे. I'll keep giving you feedbacks on that area also. But still, let's say you don't have a lot of time and all, and you want to hire a content writer. That's let's say a English honors intern from Delhi University or Bangalore University or wherever. You can have that intern for 5 to 10,000 a month, but you have to give them the basic inputs. क्योंकि ये topic है, ये cover करना है. But they won't be able to write anything personal for you. They can write all the technical stuff, right? So if you hire an intern and say, okay, I want to write content around marketing, they will be able to write. But if let's say Arzu travel to Slush, okay, now if that guy cannot write the entire experience of Slush, वो आरजू को खुद करना पड़ेगा, ऑप्शन नहीं है, राइट? एंड आई थिंक वो जो पर्सनल एक्सपीरियंस है, वो ऐसा एक्सपीरियंस है जिसकी हाई चांसेस है वायरल होने के. वहां से पर्सनल ब्रांड ज्यादा अच्छा बनेगा, बिकॉज एवरीबडी यू मेट इन स्लश आल्सो विल कनेक्ट विद यू, राइट? अगेन, even if people could not meet you there, will now connect. क्या अच्छा यार वहां तो मिल नहीं पाए, चलो let's connect now, right? So similar thing happened with HSX also, with me also, that people are still connecting with me, that okay, I heard you on HSX and after that we could not connect, okay, let's now connect, right? So 3 महीने तक वो चलता है. Why? Because this thing of being at HSX is visible on my profiles, so people relate to it, right? Consistency is a bigger game now. Consistency doesn't mean every day, but consistency means a set frequency. You say, okay, I'm going to write my content and engage with people every alternate day, right? So think of your time. आपके पास कितना time available है, आप कितना लिख सकते हो, आप कितनी बात कर सकते हो लोगों से. If you are comfortable with video making, it's awesome. If you are comfortable with audio, it is still good. एवरीथिंग वर्क्स, राइट? सो ऑडियो को भी हम एक वो पोस्टर लगा के उसका A4 MP4 बन जाता है, आप वो भी डाल सकते हो. आई हैव सीन अ लॉट ऑफ पीपल स्टार्टिंग विद दैट आल्सो. इट लुक्स लाइक अ स्मॉल पॉडकास्ट. ओके, कमिटमेंट is towards you. There is no push from my side that you should build a personal brand. मैं किसी को नहीं बोलता जाके. If you feel the need and if you are here, the commitment is for you, from you and towards you. You have to set your commitment कि भाई ठीक है, आज का पोस्ट नहीं लिखा तो खाना नहीं खाएंगे. And there should come a time जब आपको ना नींद नहीं आए. For example, I'll tell you something. So I have that commitment to myself that whenever I start a new batch, I create a new PPT. But yesterday night I was really not well and I spoke to three people, three of my friends. Like यार PPT बनाना है, कल सुबह वर्कशॉप है, ये है वो है. And like तेरे पास पढ़ा तो है दुनिया जान की PPT, कोई भी यूज कर ले. I could not do that. I woke up at 7 a.m. in the morning. I created this entire new PPT. I did copy pasted some content from the older ones, but I had to create an entire new design to start afresh. That's my commitment to myself. Any new thing started, it will start with a new entire segment of content. And then when I'm creating a new content, I have updated it to the latest thought process of mine. Right? So every cohort that I do has a different angle to it or a different perception to it, right? And the last P is patience. So one of my clients came to me, saw I'm writing from 30 days consistently, nothing happened. She was frustrated and literally in a state that she'll abuse me. I'm like, give me your name and company name, I'll help you publish in Forbes today. Do you want to pay 1 lakh for that? She was like, अच्छा ऐसा हो सकता है? मैंने कहा हो तो सकता है. But will that give you anything? No. So it's a patience game, right? To just give an example, how many of you किसने आज तक मक्खन निकाला है क्रीम में से ऐसे ऐसे रड़क रड़क के? कोई देसी इंसान यहाँ पे जिसने देखा हो, प्रोसेस देखा हो, कम से कम देखा है, राइट? ओके, नाउ वो ना लास्ट में बस मक्खन निकल आता है, उसके बीच में वो जो 5-10 मिनट का प्रोसेस है, अंदर क्या हो रहा है किसी को दिखता है क्या? Nobody can see that what is happening inside that cream until unless the butter comes out. What you see is the butter coming out. It takes 7 to 10 minutes at normal. अब कुछ लोग क्या करते हैं, वो थोड़ा सा घुमाएंगे उसको एंड उसके बाद वो बीच में रोक के देखेंगे, बीच में ज्यादा रोक दिया तो खत्म हो गया प्रोसेस, राइट? वी हैव टू स्टार्ट फ्रॉम स्क्रैच अगेन एंड इन दिस एंटायर प्रोसेस लोग ना पूरा क्रीम खराब कर लेते हैं. सो योर लिंक्डइन इज अ थिंग दैट यू आर गोइंग टू चर्न विद योर कंटेंट. Keep doing it consistently until you see some results. There is no fixed time. For somebody it can be 1 month, for somebody it can be 3 months, for somebody like me it can be 3 years. इससे ज्यादा टाइम नहीं हो सकता, मैं पहले ही बता रहा हूँ. So I'm the guy who took longest time because मैं हरियाणा से पढ़ा लिखा हूँ, मुझे अंग्रेजी नहीं आती थी, मैं बहुत गलत ग्रामर लिखता था लिंक्डइन पे, तो people used to abuse me कि भाई तेरे को लिखना नहीं आता तो क्यों लिखता है, right? Then a nice girl came and said, Saurabh, there is an app called Grammarly. तो मुझे पौना घंटा लगा ग्रामरली डाउनलोड करके यूज करने में. एंड दिस वाज नाइस इनफ गर्ल टू हेल्प मी अंडरस्टैंड ऑन अ जूम कॉल कि ग्रामरली कैसे यूज करते हैं, राइट? ओके, एंड सो दिस इज हाउ आई स्टार्टेड लर्निंग अबाउट टूल्स भी होते हैं. एंड टुडे वी आर इन अ स्पेस जहां पे हमारे पास चैट GPT-3 है, तो कंटेंट लिखना इज अ 5 सेकंड गेम. हमें तो फिर भी आधा पौना घंटा लगता था 3 साल पहले. सो अभी आपके पास बहुत स्पेस है, बट फॉर मी स्टिल चैट GPT इज अ गेम जहां पे मैं कुछ टेक्निकल कंटेंट लिख सकता हूँ. पर्सनल स्टोरीज, पर्सनल वैल्यूज, पर्सनल थॉट्स, इट कांट राइट फॉर मी, आई हैव टू राइट. बट राइटिंग का मजा उसी में है, right? When you are more authentic to it. So always, like maybe if you want to take a screenshot and take a print and paste it on your wall in front of you so that you remember these PCCP. Okay, पर्सन आपको हमेशा रहना है. आपको रहने का मतलब पता है क्या होता है? You are part of multiple communities. I have seen a lot of people, they're part of communities, but they never go to any meetup. They always have some excuse. They will not go. They shy away from other meetups. Like आप हेड स्टार्ट में, आप हेड स्टार्ट के लिए तो आपको आना ही पड़ेगा बिकॉज यू आर ए कमिटेड वॉलंटियर. बट आपकी सिटी में और भी बहुत सारे डिफरेंट कम्युनिटीज होंगे जहां पे बहुत कुछ होता होगा. But people shy away from that. So as a person, you have to be present in the local economy first. That's how you grow. Okay. Then यही काम भी offline काम भी consistent करना है. So I do like 30-40 events from my side. My community does, but I am present in another 30-40 events. So I am attending at least 80 events a year, micro, medium, and macro. right? And now being a marketing agency, we are marketing partners to a lot of mega events. Anyway, we have to go, right? Okay, now it's personal. Okay, so what all you can include in your personal brand? You can include your work, your hobbies, your interests, and your personal life. Yes, why not include your personal life? इसको क्या हुआ? Okay, your personal life and your results. Okay, so your work is the basic thing that makes you a professional. You can include that. You can talk a little about your hobbies, interest levels, personal life, or your results. So for me, everything is mixed and I post it everywhere. So मेरे Instagram पे और LinkedIn पे और Facebook पे आपको same चीजें दिखाई देंगी. That's one way to do it. I don't care what people say. I have a friend who has an influencer marketing agency. Her LinkedIn is completely professional and her Instagram is completely personal. So her travel, fun with husband, घर पे खाना बनाना, वो सब उसके Instagram पे मिलेगा, right? Okay. And everything that she talks about influencer marketing or connections or collaborations or gyan on marketing, that will be on LinkedIn. So you can make it two different things. Then there are people who have two Instagram profiles also. One is personal, one is professional. And then LinkedIn profile that they keep only professional. Up to you how you want to take it. The more profiles you create, the more work you have. So keep it like me, create one piece of content, post it everywhere. Be omnipresent. So it's easy for me to do because utna time nahi hota hai, right? Now there's always a confusion. Like one of my clients is she's a 24-year-old girl, second generation entrepreneur. So she want to work on her health and wellness business also. She has a family business also that she is partner in now. Big time fashionista. Okay, she travels a lot because of the family business. Dubai, Paris, Mumbai, Hong Kong, Abu Dhabi, everywhere she travels. Okay, every month she's traveling to two countries, not just cities. Okay, and then she is fond of sneakers. She is fond of fitness. She said, "इतना सारा बात कैसे करूं?" आप कर सकते हो. If you divide 15 posts a month, like every alternate day, you can talk about 7 topics. Problem kya hai? So every topic comes twice in a month. But now you can also interrelate these topics. So if she's into health and wellness industry, fitness becomes part of it, right? So if I am at her place that she's not doing right now, I'm still convincing her to do that. Rather than using models for her ad videos, why don't you yourself become a model in your video? एक तो सस्ता पड़ेगा. Cost बचेगी as an entrepreneur, right? Okay. Second, you have that space in your own video and talking about your own product also. And your fitness also. And then being a model, you can dress up like the way you want. Be the fashionista in your dresses, right? Okay. And she was not agreeing to it. Then I went ahead and showed her Ghazal Alec's profile on Instagram. Right? She talks everything. वहां पे बिजनेस भी है, ज्ञान भी देती है, हॉलीडे भी दिखाती है, बच्चों के साथ भी खेलती है, सब कुछ. So your personal brand has to include everything actually, because the people should know you in and out. And it's your job to show them. कि भाई ठीक है. So a lot of people tell me that Saurabh, you look well, like a very serious personality on LinkedIn, hitting people hard with facts and figures and breaking the myths, but outside you are a very funny person. I'm like, okay, let me work on this now. So I'm working a lot harder because mera humor nikalta when I'm talking to people. I can't be humorous while writing content. Like, how do I create humor? Because if I don't have any triggers to create humor, right? So if we have to go more broad, these all are part of your lives, area of your lives, starting from finance, recognition, clients, partners, family, career, profession, value creation, business, innovation, intelligence, skills, knowledge, science, politics, nutrition, sports, stress, environment. We have 20 areas of life. अभी इसमें spirituality नहीं लिखा है, इसमें health and fitness नहीं लिखा है, इसमें extra curricular hobbies नहीं लिखा है that a person can have, right? So from these 20, you can pick up any 4 or 5 that resonates with you. See, we all are different personalities, so we all need not talk. Let's say there's somebody who's working in a finance job, but personally also loves finance a lot, can easily become a finance content creator, right or not? Somebody who's working in a consulting firm, let's say something like a KPMG or ENY, and they are already building a lot of reports for the industries. So this person is good with the research and statistics and economics. Create content around the Indian startup economy. So you create your own research-based content. Believe you me, if you even publish one good report in a month, it will go viral for you. Because उस टाइप का कंटेंट हर कोई नहीं बना सकता है, और फिर आपको मेहनत थोड़ी कम करनी पड़ेगी. Correct? Like Arzu is doing a lot of work with the entire ecosystem. US का भी पता है, इंडिया का भी पता है, और differences भी पता है. Right? Like I don't know how many people will really have that kind of a knowledge about both sides of the ecosystem. Right? So if that comes out in terms of content and with some statistics, with some carousels, maybe you do only once a week. Every Friday you release this one report, or a Wednesday afternoon, because Wednesday afternoon midweek is a light day when people are in a mood to read or something like that. Right? So once you, and something that can be read in 5 to 10 minutes with a carousel and a text post both. So I call it a L-shaped content. There's a text and then there's a carousel running around it with all the statistics and numbers and all. So a presentation like that will make you around maybe 2-3 hours of collecting all the data, and then half an hour to design it properly. If you have the practice of designing it, it will take even lesser time. If you do once a week also, it makes a lot of sense. After that, whenever you have time, whatever you want to talk, you just shit post, maybe doesn't matter. But that one thing is something that people will follow you for, कि भाई ये बहुत research based content आता है, right? Now what people are doing is, I'll tell you how fake people do it. Okay, so they take any ready-made report from KPMG or something, everything is publicly available, right? They write their piece of content and copy paste a report. वो पूरा PDF upload कर देते हैं KPMG का. They're still getting thousands of likes. But these are not the people who will have real knowledge of this. वो उसको explain कर सकते हैं, उस report को खुद बना नहीं सकते. Right? So जैसे अभी पेटी इसके मामर्थ के valuation को लेके there are different voices across industry. Somebody saying it is a right way to do, somebody saying it is not a right way to do, and different things. And then Varun Alak posted something and I questioned him very hard. He said, it is not just about Mamaearth, we are house of brands. Right? That's raising the IPO. I said, then it means Hosanna is raising an IPO, not Mamaearth. Very technical question, right? And a very curious question. I didn't want to hit him hard, but it was a very technical question. कि भाई Mamaearth IPO raise कर रहा है या Hosanna कर रहा है? Tell me. मेरे को confusion है अभी. Because आप house of brands करो, that means that is Hosanna. तो एक अलग valuation game चलेगा. Mamaearth is a different valuation game altogether. But yes, somebody who is into finance can ask this question more technically better than me. So that's how you interact on people's profiles with your expertise, asking right curious questions that brings in more engagement also. So engagement ऐसा नहीं होता कि मैंने लिख दिया और engagement आ गया. It has to be relatable to people. So write in terms of relation to people, bring in some real life examples, and then people relate with it a lot. Okay. Now, आप ये सब कुछ नहीं कर पाओगे जो भी मैंने अभी तक बताया ना 1 घंटे में. You won't be able to do unless you have this clear in your mind. What is your self-image? How many of you are familiar with the concept of self-image? That there is something called a self-image. Yes or no? How many of you are aware of the concept called self-image? Kind of. Okay, so whatever understanding you have, feel free to post in the comments. That will be amazing to listen. Nobody? Self-image. It's not a simple concept, I know. Not really talked about concept every time. It is related to self-awareness. Yes, it is to self-awareness. Your own concept of your personal brand. No. Kind of close. Okay. What we think about ourselves, that's the closest. Okay. Now, when we say who you are, So who is there? Okay, Priyanath. So let's say we meet in an event. So you can unmute yourself. So let's say we meet in an event. I say, who are you? How will do you respond to that?
I'm a happy person, likes to
Okay.
travel and capture things.
Okay. So you don't talk anything about your profession.
So I'm a content creator. I make videos. So that's
You make
kind of
videos. Awesome. You will teach us videos. Okay, great. Okay. So now you do multiple things. Okay. So you capture photos, you travel, you're happy, and you make videos, right? But other three things also keep you happy anyway. Apart from being just happy, these three things also keep you happy, correct? Okay.
Yeah.
So if I have to create an identity, that means I'm a content creator at the end. Or you can say I'm a traveler and a content creator. Video is a content only. So I just used one line and encapsulated 5 things into it. Right? But all this is your profession kind of thing, right? Moreover, profession, right? What we have to do is, and okay, somebody else, I would love to have 4 or 5 examples before I explain it. I'm going to give you a video to understand it also in a deeper way. Okay, Mitu Tigi is there. Okay, you can unmute yourself. Okay, if I ask you who are you, how do you answer to that question normally in any setting or event?
I'm someone who does growth and marketing and moonlights as a startup ecosystem enabler.
Awesome, right? Again, you talked about your profession. Mostly this is what we do. I am so and so, correct or not? Right? So I'm a VP in so and so company. I'm a growth marketer. I'm a founder. I'm an entrepreneur. This is how we create it. So identity creation has become a biggest challenge, and we have lost something big here. Correct or not? So if you see me, I started as a mechanical engineer, then entered into sales, then became a trainer, coach, consultant, now a growth marketer. So my identity is evolving every single time or every 2 years. That means that is not what who I am, because that's just piece of my work that can change. Today you are making videos, you are having fun, maybe tomorrow you get bored of it. You try to do something else. Right? So now this identity that I'm talking about is not about telling the world. आप दुनिया को कोई भी जवाब दो, बट इंटरनली अपने माइंड में आपका इमेज क्या है वो क्लियर होना चाहिए. Right? So for me, when I thought a lot about this, I said I am a contributor. Contribution is a huge word that I use because I'm contributing to the family also. Whatever business I am doing, I am contributing to my clients also. Whatever workshops I am doing, I'm contributing to my participants also. Whatever social work I do, I contribute to the society for free also. So I'm a contributor. I created a very bigger self-image that encapsulates everything I do, all the 20 areas of my life. Everything. It's a contribution. So even if somebody sees my success and get inspired, it's a contribution to them, right? So if you see how we perceive our identities, okay? So this is called your values, goals, and achievements. This is your personal identity. This is what we normally speak about. I am so and so. I own a world record, right? I achieved so and so things in life. So this is how we introduce ourselves mostly. That's our story, correct? So this is a personal identity. Then comes a relational identity that comes with your profession or relations. I am a father, I'm a brother, I'm a husband, I'm a lawyer, or I'm a marketer, or something like that. So your relational identity will never change. It will always be there. Correct? And then comes your social identity in terms of how people perceive you. Your social identity will be very different with respect to different mindsets of people. Somebody will, like, for me, somebody will say, oh, ye to baniya hai. Right? Okay. And somebody is like, oh, ye to influencer hai. Somebody will say, oh, yaar, ye events mein bahut solid hai. Right? Oh, ye solid networker hai. So everybody will have a different identity. For me now, going better into personal brand is about one thing for me, is matching this personal identity to the social identity. ये दोनों अगर मैं common कर पाऊं, so that day I am able to make people talk that he's the biggest contributor we have met, I will be a successful personal brand in my own eyes. बाकी मुझे पता नहीं लोग क्या सोचेंगे. Correct? Now, being a son, being a brother, being a father, it's never gonna change. It's a relational identity. It will also keep evolving someday. But for me, my values, goals, and achievements is only one thing, that's contribution to the society. और मैं contribution का मतलब ये नहीं बोलता कि मैं free में कर रहा हूँ. Free में कुछ नहीं करता हूँ. मैं सब चीज का पैसा लेता हूँ. So I make profits in everything. Correct? Contribution doesn't mean doing it for free. But think of it like that even if I'm training somebody, like I'm training you today, and if I would have charged you ₹1,00,000 for this, but have trained you for a lifetime, मैंने तो एक ही बार लिया ना, you will take benefit of this for a lifetime. Correct? So contribution and social impact is also not free. It can be profitable also. So for me, everything that I do is nothing is non for profit. बिकॉज मैं बनिया हूं, मुझे पैसा कमाना समझ में आता है. यस, पैसा मिलने के बाद 10 गुना वैल्यू कैसे देना है वो भी समझ में आता है. आई विल ऑलवेज गिव 10x. So my idea of personal branding is matching this personal identity that I have connected to myself, that I am the contributor, has to go into my social identity also. So people should also perceive and talk about me as he's a contributor. Not like he's an Indian or he's a Gora or he's a boy or he's a Bania or he's an influencer. No, it doesn't matter to me. Being an influencer doesn't make any sense if I can't have a positive influence in the society, right? So if you see this all identities, so this identity was I'm a mechanical engineer. It was nothing more than that. I am a mechanical engineer. I work with so and so company, and I was happy because this spare part that you see is a diesel engine ka chota sa spare part. So diesel engine mein ye bahut chota sa lagta hai. When it is mounted in a diesel engine, it looks like a small piece, right? Okay. So 2015, the identity was hardcore a sales guy. Insurance बेच रहा हूँ, ये बेच रहा हूँ, वो बेच रहा हूँ, right? Okay. 2019 was a exploring stage. Let's meet a lot of people. So suit, boot, tie, this and that. Now, आदमी ऐसे स्टेज में तब आता है जब वो दूसरों को इम्प्रेस करना चाहता है. Then 2020 was a stage of this. 300 रुपए की टी शर्ट, 300 रुपए की जीन्स, 800 रुपए के जूते, कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता लोग क्या सोच रहे हैं. I'm chill, right? So in my mind, I was chill, okay? And 2023 was a personality type when I was like, okay, I have conquered myself and I'm going to rock the world. Let's contribute. खुद को conquer कर लिया, that's the best thing. Because internally there are a lot of doubts that I could come over by now, right? In terms of content, in terms of what people will think, in terms of whether I can contribute or not. So biggest problem was, do I have something that I can contribute to the world? अब आप में से बहुत सारे लोग सोच रहे होंगे ये चीजें, जब मैं क्या ही कंटेंट लिखूं, मुझे खुद ही नहीं आता कुछ, ऐसा आपको लगता है. बट अगर आपने 5 साल प्रोफेशनल वर्ल्ड में काम किया तो आपको बहुत कुछ आता है जो आप दुनिया को बता सकते हो. जस्ट यू नीड टू कन्वर्ट देम इनटू सम स्टोरीज. Okay, so we are done for today in terms of concepts and all. Okay, so let me know if you have any questions, anything that you think that was good, you learned new. So वो मैं assignments आपको group में भेजने वाला हूँ भी. Okay, any questions for today? Feel free to unmute and talk. I have a question. If you are changing yourself based on the feedback, will you not change in the process? So see, हमें फीडबैक पे चेंज करना होता है, बट हर फीडबैक काम का नहीं होता है. हर फीडबैक हमारी मार्केट वैल्यू को इम्पैक्ट कर सकता है. सो फॉर एग्जांपल, लेट्स से इफ दिस इज अ प्रोडक्ट एंड आई कॉल दिस कंपनी कि भाई ये डिजाइन मुझे अच्छा नहीं लगा. इट्स नॉट अ प्रोडक्टिव फीडबैक, इट्स अ वेरी परसेप्शनल फीडबैक. सो फीडबैक को भी चेक करना है, बायस्ड है या मेरे हित में है. लाइक इट इज फॉर माई गुड और इट इज फॉर अ पर्सन्स गुड. सो फीडबैक हम सारे फीडबैक लेते हैं बट सब पे काम नहीं कर सकते. वी ऑलवेज हैव टू चूज दैट एज अ पर्सन कि ओके which will help me become better. If something is helping me become better, then why not change? And yes, you have to change in the process. Change is the only constant. You have to evolve. इस change को ना, see, change is always seen as negative. So once you turn from college to a job and then you become an entrepreneur, most of your friends who are into jobs, यार तू बदल गया है, तू फ्राइडे को आता नहीं हो दारू पीने. Like, and we take it so negatively. People get depressed in those dialogues के किसी ने बोल दिया कि तू बदल गया है, अब तू दोस्त नहीं रहा. But change is a process. It has to happen in life. If somebody is telling you that, that means you have done something good. They might hate you for that. It's okay. So my college friends and school friends don't invite me for any parties now. Because there was a time when I was building my business and I was consistently traveling, and on their invites, I could not go. Now it's up to them whether they understand my life or not, but that is not their job. That's my job to do. Okay, so हम उतना बदलेंगे जो हमारे benefit में है. That will help us become better. Not for somebody else's selfish interest. वहाँ हम बदल नहीं सकते. So I tell you why did not I shoot the videos with Dr. Vivek Bindra. His only condition was कि clean shave होके video shoot करना पड़ेगा. I'm like नहीं कर रहा मैं. Like being on his YouTube channel would have been a blast to my personal brand, right? Right or not? But it was a personal hit on my physical identity. I'm not going to change that part. I said no to it. I even went to the studio. We practiced also. But then I like, nahi maza aa raha mujhe. They have too many conditions to change me. And when I come to the video, I will not look myself. So I dropped that idea of shooting videos with them. Right? So that was not that was not a feedback. That was a condition to shoot a video. And I've said, okay, nahi karna hai mujhe. Okay, great question. Any other question?
Yeah, Saurabh.
Yes, come.
Yes. So I have this question. I just wanted to understand a little bit more about it. It's related to your personal branding. You said like we cannot focus upon the authorities because it will take a lot of time to build the authority, right? In terms of like years, 10 years more than that. Like you are working on your identity, like you are saying that you are a contributor. Do you believe that finding your identity will help you to somehow create your authority in the field that you are working upon?
I think both the things are part of creation only. You can't find an identity. You have to create an identity again.
Okay.
See, again, I just chosen a word called contributor, but in the entire process, I also became a contributor.
Okay.
So think of it.
You
Whatever you
need
use
to
after
create the
I
identity.
am,
Okay.
whatever you use after I am is also affirmation, manifesting it consistently. Right? So see, I see a lot of people who want to take a career break and then say, okay, I want to find myself. I'm like, you're completely wasting time. You just need to be blank and say, okay, aaj ke baad mein kuch nahi. I am nothing today. And now I'll create myself into a different domain. Right? And you just start telling that. So I'm a self-proclaimed coach and a trainer. I have no certification. Corporate doesn't invite me. Right? But there are many CEOs and CXOs who are personally secretively being coached by me. Right? Why? Because they understand that I can help. I understand that I can contribute. Right? And that's it. Usko publicly koi identity nahi hai us cheez ka.
Okay.
So
if you give it a publical identity, it become the authority. Otherwise, it's
authority is simple. Authority is again authority na main nahi bol sakta ki main authority hu. The public has to say it.
Okay.
So for example, if I have to talk about in terms of financial wisdom and happiness, Naval Ravikant is authority for me. The kind of content he has created. Correct or not?
Yes.
Okay. Shark Tank में जितने हमारे sharks बैठे हैं, I don't consider them a startup authority.
Correct.
Because they have a very limited experience. अगर मुझे startup authority समझना है कि startups की या business की दुनिया में authority कौन है, तो वो अंबानीज हैं, वो बिरलाज हैं, अदानी हैं, वो authority है.
Okay.
Because they have generations into it. And they have diversified businesses into it. Like if somebody as a shark sitting on public channel is laughing on a flower business in India, I really can't consider them authority, right?
Yes.
Flower is the biggest business in the country. 2 lakh crore ka daily ka business hai.
Correct.
It's a ground business. Right? एक कॉस्मेटिक कंपनी का 30 करोड़ का टर्नओवर ऑलरेडी और विनीता सिंह बोल रहे कि वो 200 करोड़ का नहीं बनेगा. कैसे नहीं बनेगा? बनेगा वो. So somewhere what I see in these 3 episodes is a very short-sightedness of these sharks. Not an authority as per a startup economy. Naval Ravikant, yes, because he has seen the ecosystem growing in past 13, 14 years, invested in the ecosystem, grown with the ecosystem. And if you read his book, it's not forcing anything. Like you will not feel any biased approach.
Mhm.
One of the parts of authority is that you cannot say it's a biased approach.
Okay.
Because see, authorities will say, see, a person with authority will always understand that nothing is fixed and things will always change. Everything is under experiment all the time. जो आज है वो 5 साल बाद नहीं होगा और जो आज है वो 5 साल पहले नहीं था. You will always keep them a very thing. So see again, today if you are fixed on one thing that you say कि okay मुझे ना lifetime यही करना है, you start building that today and just not write content for social media but start assembling a book. And then you reread that book before. So लोग क्या करते हैं, लोग आज किताब लिखते हैं, उसको पब्लिश कर देते हैं, Amazon पे नंबर 1 बनाना हलवा है आज की डेट में, and they be happy about it and they say I'm the authority.
Yes.
A person like me wrote book 3 years ago. I read it every year. I republish it every year only for myself as of now. I will release it after 5 years. Right? I wrote a book, 40 life lessons from my 20s and 20s last year. उसको मैं 2 बार लिख चुका हूँ पूरी किताब को. Because जब मैं उसको पढ़ता हूँ अगले साल, next year when I read the book, I'm like ये कुछ valuable नहीं है, ये तो बकवास. I am talking to myself. Right? So I read book from Ankur Wariku's book also I read Raj Shamani's book. वो बच्चों के लिए लिखी हुई किताब है, वो हमारे मतलब की किताब ही नहीं है. When I read Naval Ravikant, I'm like, wow, this is the book I should read. When I read 0 to 1, okay, this is giving me some value and this is coming from a good experience. Both the books, see, just read these books in terms of content and you will understand कि क्या authority है, क्या नहीं है. It's a feeling. And people has to come and say that you are authority. You cannot be a self-proclaimed authority in anything. Right?
Got it.
So see, you can have a doctor in front of your name doing PhD also. But then there are honorary doctorates also. Correct or not? So see, what people are trying to do is, they're trying to build authority by PR, paid PR. Correct? We are Forbes 30 under 30. 1.5 लाख का जॉब है, कोई भी छुपा सकता है. 1.5-2 लाख रुपए लगता है, राइट? ओके. गेटिंग अ वेरीफाइड अकाउंट. अब वेरीफाइड अकाउंट के लिए भी तुमको पीआर चाहिए, तो उसके लिए पैसा पे करते हैं, फिर वेरीफाइड अकाउंट वाले, एंड दे ट्राई टू शो देमसेल्व्स एज अथॉरिटी वेरी हार्ड. Correct or not?
Yes.
But then there is someone who's very talented, comes on a national TV with a talent, becomes a master chef or becomes a Indian Idol or becomes a Dance India Dance का winner. उनको कुछ नहीं करना पड़ता, they get verified easily.
Correct.
That's the authority.
Okay.
So Dharmesh in dance is authority. He came from DIT 12 सीजन पहले, आज वो उसी स्टेज का जज है.
Judge.
एंड उसके मल्टीपल स्कूल्स हैं दुनिया में. दैट्स अथॉरिटी.
Yes.
राइट? एक्टिंग में शाहरुख खान इज अथॉरिटी. बट यू कैन से नॉट एक्टिंग में, बॉलीवुड में अथॉरिटी है वो अपने आप में.
Correct.
बिकॉज 30 years into one thing, doing nothing else. सो मेरे साथ क्या प्रॉब्लम है, अथॉरिटी में क्यों नहीं बन सकता? बिकॉज मेरा करियर हर 2 साल में चेंज हो जाता है. I can't be doing same things again and again. Right? So अभी मार्केटिंग एजेंसी मैंने चला लिया 1 साल, I was like done, हो गया मेरा काम. What next? Let's create a subscription based community. Then okay, let's become an angel investors community. Let's start angel investing now. Right? Okay. Then maybe 2 years down the line I go back to my family business. कोई भरोसा नहीं है मेरा, मैं क्या करने वाला हूँ. Right? Because things are changing fast.
Got it.
Right? So I don't want to become an authority. I just here to share my experiences. So I'll tell it this way, that if you are, so आप कहाँ रहते हो कमल?
शिमला.
आप शिमला में रहते हो, राइट? एंड लेट्स से आपको दिल्ली आना है, करेक्ट? The only thing you can do is start your car and start driving. Reaching Delhi is a byproduct.
Yeah.
So becoming an authority is like that. You start talking today, start researching, go deeper into the subject, bring in more research. Over a period of time, people will start calling you authority as a byproduct. It will happen.
Yes. What I think, sometimes what happened are even clients consider us as an authority because we are proving them that we are doing these things from very long now. We have
Yes.
testimonials of these clients. And now what we are talking from that perspective, that we are an authority in this topic.
हाँ, सो अथॉरिटी को लेकर के ना, अगर सो उसको मैं एक्सपर्टीज बोलता हूँ. डेफिनेटली वी आर कंसल्टेंट्स, वी आर
Okay.
एक्सपर्ट्स इन सर्टेन थिंग, राइट? ओके,
Okay,
बट
expertise.
as an authority, see again, when we talk about, let's say, companies like KPMG, EY, so big fours,
Mhm.
right? Why we call them an authority in this industry?
Okay.
Because they publish a report every year about everything.
Mm-hmm.
Correct?
Understand. Mhm.
Correct. So are we publishing reports about our industry?
Got it.
हम पब्लिश करने लगेंगे एंड उस रिपोर्ट में कुछ दम होगा, then people will start better considering it as an authority. Like for example, board का case study, branding case study went to Harvard.
Mhm.
It became an authority now. It got published as a case study in Harvard.
Howard, yes.
Now, कहने को हार्वर्ड भी इंसानों ने ही बनाया है,
Correct.
right or not?
Yes.
Right? But it is something that has a known credibility कि भाई ऐसे ही किसी को उठा के नहीं लाएंगे. So that case study became an authority now. Like branding में Aman Gupta is authority. A lot of people just want to get funded by him because he know how to build brands.
Brands, yes.
Correct? So that's different.
Mhm.
So it's a long game. Again,
I got
we
it.
have all the time to build,
Got it.
but
I got
idea
it.
should not be कि मैं खुद को authority बोलने लगूं.
Yes,
Like,
you cleared my doubts. I was thinking about कि हम industry में authority बनाएंगे, but it's like we can build the expertise, but the authority is whole another level.
authority is very another level. Authority is when people create that perception कि भाई अगर कुछ करना है ना इसके पास जाओ ये बताएगा. Like when 100 people recommend कि भाई कमल के पास जाओ तुम्हें ये चाहिए तो.
Got it.
Like my father is into industrial lubricants business from 32 years. In our entire industry of Faridabad, Delhi NCR, if there is a oil that is not available, people will say, okay, go to either Neeru Oil and Chemicals or you go to Hanuman Oil and Chemicals. These two people can help you get anything from Dubai or any other part of the country. These two are the authorities. Right?
Understood. Yes.
Every small trader will also lose their business recommending you. कि भाई हमसे नहीं हो पाएगा इसके लिए आप उनके पास चले जाओ.
Got it. Yes.
So see, when you see doctors, surgeons, right? Anybody who's above 25 years experienced is majorly known in the city.
Got it.
Correct or not? So एक छोटा क्लिनिक बड़े हॉस्पिटल में रेफर क्यों करता है किसी को? जब उससे इलाज नहीं हो रहा होता तभी करता है ना. कि एक बड़ा हॉस्पिटल है, वहां पे ज्यादा एक्सपीरियंस डॉक्टर होंगे, सर्जन्स होंगे, मल्टी स्पेशलिटी होगा, तो वो अथॉरिटी है. एक अथॉरिटी का एक पार्ट ये भी होता है, मल्टी स्पेशलिटी अंडरस्टैंडिंग.
One last question from my side, Saurabh. I think it will help other people also to understand this. Like you see that we are into this startup ecosystem, and most of us are regional leads right now operating here. So like in our state, we are leading the incubations, we are leading the government, we are helping to build up this ecosystem from the very scratch, right? So what do you think, like how we can portray ourselves so that we can build the brands, the personal brands in our region specifically for startup ecosystems?
I think if you're talking about a regional level, a local event consistency is a great thing to do.
Okay.
And because you are involved with the government, let them also come into the event. Like you are doing a event at a government space.
Yes.
So अगर कोई government incubation center है या physical space है, you do consistent events there. और पता है, more than events, do workshops in your expertise.
Okay.
Right? So if you have expertise in something, do more and more workshops, because what is happening in the event spaces, people come meet each other and they go.
Go.
Right?
Yes.
Okay. So see, we are here because I did a workshop in HSX event.
Yes. Yes.
Otherwise, we won't be here. Otherwise, I would be part of 900 participants. I would come next day, I will go back, right?
Yes.
So when Vashishta invited me for the event, I was like, okay, I can come as a participant, but what better I can do? So he said, okay, you can do a workshop. We have the workshop format running. You can do a workshop. I said, okay, that would be better.
And we can take those workshops to LinkedIn also by explaining all those things that what we are doing in our region.
Yes,
that will help us to build our personal brand.
When you do these workshops, one is that these people will give you a lot of shout outs. See, again, when you do something for free, always demand branding.
Got it.
Tell people, let's say if there are 100 people in an event, you do a free workshop for them, let's say 2 hours, 3 hours, whatever time you have.
Okay. Yeah.
At the end, you always have to put a CTA. Okay, whatever you learn today, click a group picture, you will all have it.
Mhm.
Go post it on social media, tag Headstart, tag us. What did you
Mm.
learn and all? Let's kickstart the journey of knowing each other well. Stay
Mm.
connected. So
Mhm.
think of it 100 head starters doing it across India.
Correct.
What will happen?
Next level.
Like 5,000
Yeah.
posts being done on LinkedIn or anywhere. So it's a free influencer marketing platform.
Correct.
So that is how it works.
Mm.
And think of the local things. Like sometimes you can also do like different events, yoga event. चलो
Mhm.
ठीक है थोड़ा health भी अच्छी होती है, right? If you
Mhm.
have let's say 10 to 15 people, like Shimla is a small space.
Yes.
Ecosystem के अगर 25-30 लोग हैं, let's say we do a every Sunday morning run and a
Mhm.
breakfast party. That's informal side of it.
Mhm. Got it.
People like that more.
Mhm.
Like I see a lot of communities, they do cricket events, right? They play, they do snooker events, like whatever they like.
Yes.
So we are also planning to do a lot of outbound retreats, spiritual retreats. Although we are a business community, but we'll
Mm.
do a lot of spiritual retreats now because people need to understand deeper levels of themselves also, right?
Yeah.
So again, aspects of life, pick up different aspects of life. किसको क्या कभी कभी family party भी हो सकता है. Maybe
Mhm.
only 5 families, not the 100 families. That's going to be huge. But five, 6 people living nearby your home, you invite them for a Sunday chai pakoda party. ठंड का मौसम है वैसे भी, it's cool to,
Correct.
right? So
Yes.
that is how you build better relationships. See, again, relationship is a very old school game. Relationship building and brand building. Social media is a tool that gives you a global reach.
Mhm.
So we always say, think global, build local.
Mm. Right.
तो शिमला में अथॉरिटी बनना बहुत इजी है
Easy है.
बिकॉज वहां पे कोई और है ही नहीं,
है नहीं.
राइट? बट शिमला के 100 लोग अगर कंसिस्टेंटली बात करने लगेंगे तो ग्लोबल अथॉरिटी अपने आप बन जाएगा. दैट्स हाउ द रिपल इफेक्ट इज देयर,
Mhm. Correct.
राइट?
Thank you so much, Saurabh. You cleared a lot of things for me personally. Thank you so
Most
much.
welcome. That's how we learn,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Okay, now we have a homework to do. Okay, so but 35 लोग थे भी 11 बचे हैं finally. Okay, so one is that I'll share a video with you in the group. So one maybe in the evening time you have 20 minutes, watch that video. It's about self-image.
Okay.
A TED talk from Dan Lok about self-image. Watch that video. Second thing you have to do in the group is you have to post what did you learn,
Mhm.
what you need to practice, what you need to change. 3 things, okay? And then act on it also. If you need to change something, you change. If you need to practice something, you start practicing from today. And third, you make a LinkedIn post about these things only. What did you learn? How it is going to help you? And give an announcement Kickstarter that, okay, I'm going to be on LinkedIn from today. And then start thinking about how you are building your identity,
Yeah.
right?
Definitely.
So, Vashishta, anything else? Are you there? Okay. ठीक है. So the recording of the call will be available very soon. I'll share it with Vashisht, and so people who could not attend the entire call can now continue. Okay. So we are like 2 घंटे से ज़्यादा हो गया, 1.5 घंटे से.
Thank you so much.
Okay. Most welcome. Bye bye. See you again
Bye.
next Saturday.
Take care.
Bye bye.